Thank you so much. My name is Kiko, and I have been on a high raw vegan journey for the last 20 years. And it has been an amazing, amazing life journey for me. And I have published a new book called Namado, My Raw Journey. And it is part of the plant-based bundle. And in this plant-based bundle, my beautiful and new friend Jennifer is also part of this, and it's a cookbook. And I truly enjoyed reading her story in that cookbook. And she's got a beautiful recipes, and some of them are raw vegans. I haven't tried them, but they all look so beautiful. And when I read this short story of what she has gone through to go on this whole food plant-based SOS, salt, oil, uh, and SOS is salt free, oil free, and
And
what's another,
sugar.
sugar free, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm really excited to invite her to share her journey, which I just recently found that she has gone through so much. When you see her now, she's like so vibrant, and you could never imagine what she has gone through. So you would love this show. So, Jennifer, thank you so much for um, accepting my request to interview you and preparing everything. This platform she has prepared and wonderful husband Todd has helped out so much to it. So, Jennifer, would you like to share a bit about you?
Yes. Oh, Kiko, you are amazing. And I feel a lot of gratitude towards you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate everybody watching. And of course, we are doing this plant-based bundle right now through the 15th. And if it is something that you're interested in, it's different than any of the other ones this year. And so you could check out Kiko's link or my link in our bios. And yes, I did submit and contribute a cookbook we could talk about and share my journey as well. So you tell me where we should begin.
Yes, thank you. So let's begin maybe where you started. I know that you have shared, you have already prepared the beautiful photos of your journey. So yeah, I'll let you go through that slides that you shared. I love that story.
Oh, sure, sure. So this is, you'll be able to hear us, but we can still see the chat. But I put together some slides just to kind of share a little bit about my journey. I personally like a visual, and so maybe, hopefully, you guys, if you haven't heard it, or maybe it will come of some value to you. So this is me now. And this is the beginning. You could see different stages of my childhood. When I was a little baby, I had all that hair. And the middle picture, I know I had lots of hair. People used to think, oh my gosh, is that real? But yes, it was. And then that middle photo, that was when I was about 4 or 5 years old. And actually, that's when I started already having problems. Looking back, I could say, I would guess that was the beginning of all the problems. I had a lot of allergies, environmental and food allergies, and I started getting tested for that about that age. And the last picture on where I'm a little older, I just thought that I would put that in there because I'm eating a bag of processed chips. Those are Cheetos. And just to show that we ate the standard diet and engaged in stuff, not really understanding what that meant. And so I was already feeding inflammation at that time. Now, we lived in Illinois and we had moved to California when I was about 10 years old. And we lived in a beautiful area, 15 minutes in from Malibu. It was underdeveloped at that time. It wasn't even on the map. And years later, I learned that we actually lived near a nuclear waste dump. And it was not gotten rid of. The contaminants were not gotten rid of correctly. A lot of the waste was put into the water tables, and there were a lot of people in the area. We had lived there for many, many years, my whole childhood, and I think my mom even lived there like over 30 years, and lots of people that I grew up with had just really unusual cancers and things. And I always wonder, could this have had some contribution to some of my issues? I was already having problems. Did this make it worse? So I just wanted to share that. And when I was very young, I graduated high school and I dated somebody, and I had a lot of issues with stress as a young child. My parents got divorced. There was a lot of craziness. My father had bipolar and was undiagnosed, so we didn't understand it. And so I just wanted a family so badly. And I did. I was blessed. I had 3 beautiful children, 2 girls, and my middle is a boy. And here we are. And, when I had my first daughter, another issue started coming. And that was I got the hypothyroidism diagnosis. And from there, I got a nodule, and just all kinds of things were happening. And so these are a handful of list of things that either I dealt with or my children dealt with. And I was taking care of them. I ended up getting a divorce at that time. My ex-husband did not pay child support or help or visit or anything. And so I was dealing with allergies and all these different things. And you can see on there, we had milk intolerance, lactose intolerance, migraines, asthma. I had all kinds of lumps. I had in my breasts and my fingers, and even actually going back for a minute, before I had the kids as a teenager, I had an ovarian tumor cyst the size of a grapefruit removed. And there were just always all kinds of problems here, random swelling and growths and hormone acne. The list goes on and on. And so I had no idea at the time that food might be a challenge or part of this or all of this. And, I had other things along the way. My blood tests showed that I had low white blood count. I had really major problems with having my potassium level so low that I thought I was having a heart attack. And I was submitted into the emergency room. And, they finally realized your potassium level is causing irregular heartbeat. You're not balanced. And I was eating what I thought was the healthy American diet, chicken breast without the skin, and mashed potatoes with butter. And I did do steamed broccoli, and I always got my yogurt and all those things and eggs. And so they said, we want you to drink Gatorade, and that will bring your potassium up. And I thought, well, I'm not drinking Gatorade. Have you looked at the ingredients in Gatorade? No, that's not for me. So we agreed coconut water. And I drank 8 to 16 ounces of coconut water every day for 9 years. Plus, I took potassium pills that were that were these gigantic pills for a very long time. And those didn't really do anything. And they had me doing it up to 6 times a year. Now, I also had a lot of sinus issues, and I had 3 sinus surgeries. This is actually my x-ray of one time during figuring out about the surgery. And if you look, you can kind of see where the eyes are and the teeth. If you look above the eyes and you look below the eyes and you look on the sides, most of that is not black in color, even between the nose, even though it's a little oddly shaped. you can see all of that white or gray is really thick, like a peanut butter texture, really thick infection that would not clear. And even on the side under the eye that has some dark spot, that's air, and it's all supposed to be dark and be airy, but you can see there's some thickening there. And so I had 3 surgeries over the course of a handful of years, and getting ready for my last surgery. They do these scans.
Sorry,
Yes.
Jennifer, may I stop? Can you go back to the last slides? So below your eyes, there's black spot for the left side of the face. There's black, and then the right side is grayish.
Yes.
So it should be all black?
Yes, it should be all black. And the side that's black has some white in the corner, and that should be black as well. The black shows air circulation, and it should also be black between the eyes. You can see on the other side, the right side, there's like right there, that next to it, that, I don't know, can you see a pound? Okay, you can't see a pointer. Between the eye and the nose, there's like some gray, and even above the eye, all that should be black, and it's not.
That's incredible. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, that's it's
It made
this is very clear.
Yeah, it made it very difficult for me to fly, to change in altitude. When I say fly on an airplane, to change in altitude, because there was nowhere for the pressure to go. I had some really serious events because of it. At one point, I actually went to the emergency room because I was trying to go to sleep, and I swallowed my saliva, and my ears plugged, and they would not unplug. So I went to the emergency room, and they said, there's really nothing we could do for you. You need a surgery. And I mean, my balance was off. I was always getting dizzy. My energy was terrible. Everything was just terrible. And you could see the trouble that I was having here. And because of this, and because of inflammation, I also had a very weak immune system. So on top of it, I was getting sick monthly, and I was always on medications.
That's incredible. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. And so on the last surgery for the sinus, right before I had the surgery, they needed to do a scan, because they use that scan to make like a map of how to clear out the sinuses. And there was the radiologist who reads the x-rays noticed on the corner, and it's not this one, but they noticed on the corner of the scan that there was something that didn't look right. They just accidentally caught it. And it turned out that you can see it's a pituitary adenoma. So this picture with the green arrows shows a little, that's where the pituitary is. It's in the base of the brain, between the eyes, and it's right in the center of our head. It's a little tiny gland. It's about the size of a pea that you can eat, a pea, a little tiny thing. And it does everything about regulating our hormones, about being able to have bladder control, cold and hot, and all kinds of things this little gland has. And they found that there was a tumor growing inside of it. And they said, we're going to have to watch this. Don't worry, it's not going to be anything, But as it turned out, every time they did a scan every 6 months for about a year and a half, it kept growing and growing and growing. And it got to a point where it was going to cause me to have problems with my vision. And it was going to cause peripheral vision, the outside vision, to not work. It could cause double vision and all kinds of problems. And so I didn't feel anything was wrong. I felt good, but I could see there was a problem. And so they said, we want to get in there before it causes problems. It can cause neurological problems. It can cause problems with shaking and being able to control your movements and all kinds of things. And so this, the other side is me coming out of the brain surgery. And you can see I'm hooked up to all those machines. This picture was taken by my husband, and I was in the critical care unit for 5 days, and just not something you want to experience.
Which year was that?
That I think was 2014.
Okay, 10 years ago.
13 or 14, yeah. I'm
Okay,
terrible with the dates because once I feel good, I forget.
that's fantastic.
So anyways, yeah, so the next, go ahead. So, I did everything I thought to do correctly, and nothing was really working. I wasn't getting off of any of the medications. My potassium never cleared up. The growths were growing. I kept having all kinds of weird growths on my breast, and my fingers, on my hands, in my head, on my ovaries. And I started to think maybe I should turn to something like this. And I started to get involved with all of these books and doctors and influencers that are all about whole food plant-based and eating, and how food can affect our health. And the doctors, they're great at what they do if you need to have something cut out. But I realized there's got to be a link, right? We can't just keep cutting things out. And what's causing the problem? And so I started to really engage myself and teach myself all about, this type of healing. And so I did really well, and then at one point I became anemic, and that didn't do me very well, and that's kind of a long story in itself. But I was on iron medications, iron supplements for a very long time, and I saw the Western medicine doctors, and I even saw whole food plant-based doctors, and nobody could figure out why my iron was so low, to the point where I was like, they wanted to do a blood transfusion, and I was going to fall over, and it was just a big mess. But so I ended up going back to eating some meat because they said that's all you're going to have to do. And so at that time, this picture is around the COVID time, and I reluctantly had the COVID vaccine, and it's a very personal decision. I'm not judging anybody for whatever anyone wants to do. I personally wasn't wanting to do it, but during COVID, both of my daughters became pregnant 5 weeks apart. And at that time, we didn't know a lot. The hospitals were shut down. And my youngest daughter said she really would like to have me in the hospital as the partner. And so this is me in the hospital with my daughter, with the new baby, the youngest one. I'm so proud of them. And at the same time, this is about the time I noticed my toes started going numb. And then my extremities, my fingers, my toes, my body, my feet, everything started tingling. I started having weird neurological issues, and no one could explain it. And, I was in the hospital with my daughter. Both my girls were high-risk pregnancies. They were both C-sections. It was not a smooth sailing for them. We had to stay in the hospital, and I was exhausted. The baby had some jaundice issues. And then I was thinking, well, what's going on with my toe? What's going on? And I was trying to ignore it, thinking maybe it was just the way I laid down or something. But as it turned out, 9 days into it, 5 in the hospital and 4 at her house, I literally had a complete breakdown. And I just told her, I have to go home. I can't help you, and I'm so sorry. And I'm. It's such a touching thing for me still. It probably will be forever, that I had to leave my daughter in this beautiful with this beautiful new baby, because I could not stand up. I could not function, and I didn't understand it. I was scared to death. What is going on? And so I ended up going home, and you can do the next slide. And I slept for about a month or so. I got up to go to the bathroom, of course, but I couldn't really take care of myself. And you see the dog, Remy, he's with me. We slept and slept and slept. I was on so many medications because they didn't know what to do with me. All my tests, I had every test you can think of, electric EMGs and tilt tests and blood tests and MRIs with contrast of every part of my spine. I went to neuroscience surgeons. I went to neurologists, 4 of them. I started looking across the country. I could not get anyone to tell me what was wrong. And as it turns out, it was a vaccine injury, but we didn't know it at the time. And so I was bedridden for 14 months. That middle picture there is me at my heaviest. I was couldn't really stand very long. I have my arm hidden because I had wrist braces on and elbow braces on. They said I had carpal tunnel. They said everything, but really what was going on, and I couldn't walk, but I did get up, and I did take this picture. This was to celebrate my mother's 80th birthday at the time. And then it took 4 days for me to get these sensations to calm down. They would elevate across my mouth, across my lips, on my shoulders. And if you see above that picture, if you can see it, I started drawing because people were telling me I had PTSD. I needed to go for psychiatric evaluation and get into these programs, and it's all in my head, and I'm going to have to learn how to deal with it. But you can see all that red, that if you can see that picture, I drew that, and those were me trying to communicate. This is where I'm feeling these weird sensations. And it got worse. It went up across and in the groined area. I mean, it was terrible. And then the last picture there you can see is me in a wheelchair, because they said, well, maybe it's from your spine, because I didn't even mention I had a spinal surgery, and they said maybe it's acting up even though the MRIs were perfect. So let's give you spinal injections, and let's give you wrist injections, and let's give you hand injections. And nothing worked, but I tried everything I could. And they finally, I just said to my husband, like, I cannot live in my body when my body is vibrating and pulsating. And when you hit your funny bone, that bone on the elbow, you hit that and it gives this weird, terrible feeling. Like, that's the closest thing I could come up with of how my whole body felt all the time. And movement would make it go higher and more elevated. So I never wanted to move. And they were telling me, there's stop thinking about it, and it's going to go away, and you're fine, and this isn't real. So I turned to acupuncturists. I turned to all kinds of things. And I even went back to eating whole food, plant-based. Not because I thought it would cure this, but because I was having a blood test, and I thought, okay, I have 3 weeks to lower my cholesterol. I know how to lower my cholesterol. I never got off the iron, by the way, even when I ate meat. And 3 weeks later, I had the blood test. I did lower my cholesterol 50 points in 3 weeks. And what was the most astonishing was that I could move my body a little bit better. I could move my hips. I could move my hands. I couldn't even hold a pen. And so I thought, oh my gosh, it's the food. It's the food is keeping me sick. So I started eating the food, not really understanding. And this picture is me doing circadian rhythm. I really got in touch with everything I could to help make my body less stressed. And then, we were even having the house with no lights. I was trying to disconnect Wi-Fi. I was worried about all kinds of electromagnetic fields. I wasn't using the microwave. I mean, I tried everything. I did water plunges in 50-degree that's very cold, icy cold swimming pool, and I would stay there for 10 minutes. Like, I tried everything, but the food is what really made a difference. And so this is me having my water. I went and checked myself into True North Health Center, and with Dr. Alan Goldhammer, and that is located in Santa Rosa, California. And I did a 14-day water fast, and it proved to help me continue to heal. Next slide. And I got my life back, you guys, and it was because of the food, eating the right foods, the foods that we were meant to eat, the foods that create the cells that create our body. And so I wanted to be able to enjoy life. And here I am in the car in a parking lot with my husband, about to go in to see some rock concert. We were going to see a concert, but I certainly wasn't going to eat what they had there. And so I bring my salad, I bring my berries. In my hand, I had some just cooked potato. And that's what I do. I make sure that I have my own food. And I love to eat the rainbow, all the colors. And here is just one sample that is actually a picture of food that I put together. There I am making mushrooms, and I'm about to put them in the dehydrator because I was learning about raw food, and there they are. Everything can be colorful and delicious and wonderful. And so I'll show you a few pictures of food. This is a salad that I had that's got fruit in it, and mint and mango and tomatoes and cilantro and all kinds of things. It's a beautiful colors. That's what I like to eat. And now you can see I wear a weighted vest because I had to improve my bone strength. They told me that when I had been bedridden, that I had the bone strength of a 94-year-old. And so I was determined to improve it. And now I do biking, and I play on the playground with the grandkids or by myself. I ride my bike. I travel. I believe in myself. I just enjoy life. That picture of me with my arms up in the air, that's because I was doing a cartwheel. And here's some more pictures. And my family supports me. The picture of me holding the flowers and the carrots, that was my birthday. My grandkids gave me carrots and flowers and pictures that they drew for my birthday. The middle is pictures of Todd and our dog hiking. We can hike now. The very center of the middle, we're at a baseball game, and I have my salad. And I don't need to eat the hot dogs or whatever is there, because I know that this is going to make me continue to improve and heal. And I ride my bike. And then you can see on the top other side, I'm laying down in the grass because I do something called grounding. And I just try to allow my body to do what it was meant to do, and grounding, and we can go into another time. And then, of course, that very bottom one, that is a carrot. And oh my gosh, that was from our garden, believe it or not. And so that was kind of funny to show. And so anyways, this is a way that you can reach out to me if you're interested. I encourage you to give plants a chance. And that is the name of my cookbook that I have in this bundle. And, it's just something that I need to share with people because I think about those people, and you can end this and bring her back. I think about those people that are in that doctor's office, and I didn't even go into that, but the doctor told me when they finally gave me a diagnosis of small fiber neuropathy, after everybody said it was nothing, they finally did tell me that's what I had. And he said, you're never going to get better, and you're only going to get worse, and you're never going to prove, or know what caused it. And you always will have to take these medications, which were brain altering medications. I mean, I got to tell you, if somebody tells you that you're trusting to help you figure out a medical problem, that is devastating. Devastating. It's like, what? What do you mean? And so I have gratitude and grace for that doctor for giving me the answers that I needed. And then I knew, okay, I need to go a different direction and figure the next phase out. And I think about those
Mhm.
other patients. And that's what motivated me to be on this journey to share.
Oh my God, Jennifer, thank you so much. That was, I had so many comments and questions while you're going through this presentation, but it was so beautifully well put. And I wanted to make sure that listeners and viewers can take full advantage of, your beautiful presentation and sharing your personal stories of health journey. I think most people would say that I'm so sorry that you have gone through this. You've gone through a lot, but I want to say that I do believe that we are meant to go certain things in our lives, and I just kept saying that thank God you're alive, thank God that you're radiating. You know, I feel like you have gone through so much, but those are all the energy, that for you to jump. I mean, you're just going skyrocketing with you know, all of what you had to go through, and you don't want anyone to go through all this pain. That's why you're a health consultant, right? And that's why you're doing this YouTube, fantastic YouTube, to reach out to people. And I see your passion and compassion. And I'm just so grateful to be able to connect with someone like you. So
Oh,
again, thank you. I
yes.
have I have few questions and comments, if that's okay.
Yes, sure. And this story that I shared, thank you so much for those wonderful supportive words. There's always more to my story. I mean, but this is the parts that I think would be helpful for people to hear. And so, yes, please ask anything.
That was beautifully put in such a short period of time of, part of your health journey. So, about the vaccine, you decided to get vaccine because you wanted to. There was a protocol in a hospital so that you can care your grandbaby.
Well, so at the time, they were just coming out with the vaccine, and I decided I don't want to do it. I don't understand it. I don't. I've had anaphylactic shock with the allergy shots. I've had a lot of things happen with injections, and I get really nervous. And so I thought, no, I'm fine to like isolate, or, because that's what everybody was doing at the time. Very early on, nobody really understood. And as my daughter's pregnancies continued to evolve, when they were towards the end of the pregnancies, their doctor, their obstetrician who was going to be performing the cesarean sections, recommended that they get the vaccine. And so we had a lot of discussions in the household, and they decided to do it. And they said, "Mom, you're going to be in the hospital. Um, Maybe consider thinking about if you want to do this," because the hospital at that time, I don't believe, was mandating it for other people, maybe for their staff. But what they were doing was, I understood that if I was carrying if I was carrying the COVID, if I was carrying that, I could give it to this new baby. And I was not going to be responsible to give my new grandbaby any kind of virus. So I reluctantly, against what I wanted to do for myself, and everyone should do what works for them. And people did, even in my own family. Some people did, some people didn't. And nobody was judging anyone. It wasn't about a political thing. It's just what happened to me. I did it. And I sat in that waiting room, because you had to sit there after they give it to you, crying, waiting for something to happen. I was so nervous I was going to have a problem, and nothing happened. And I'm like, okay, within that first 20 minutes, like anaphylactic shock or some kind of. But I did go home and I did get very, very violently ill for 2 weeks. And my husband, he didn't want to get it, but he said, if you're getting it, I'm getting it. And he was fine. And my daughter was fine, but I was really, really sick. And they said, well, if you got one, you have to get the second part. Otherwise, it doesn't count. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I did get the second part of that one shot, came in 2 parts. And I got it so that I would be ready to go in the hospital and protect the baby. And you see what happened to me. I did not share with my extended family what was going on either. So it was very isolating already in the world. And then I again isolated more because I did not want to take the joy away from a new baby in our family by talking about something that was going on with me that I didn't understand. And I was unable to hold the babies. I couldn't engage. It was so awful. But that's what happened with that. Yeah.
Thank you. Jennifer, you are beautiful as you are. And, you know, thank you so much for sharing this personal story. I just, one word, beautiful. You're absolutely beautiful for who you are. And, Sky and I, we are doing a weekly podcast, and we are doing this ups and downs of raw vegan lifestyle. And, as I mentioned, I have been on a high raw vegan diet for over 20 years. And just like you mentioned, I said, wow, the food, who is, and why didn't we think about it? Like, why didn't we just think about whole food, plant-based, fresh, vibrant food? It looks fantastic. They're vibrant and makes us feel so good, and yeah, just like you, when you discovered, I said, yo, we should share. This is amazing. And you feel like we found the answer, and this is it. And my journey, each person's journey is so different. My journey hasn't been linear. I should be perfectly, healthy for over 20 years. But one of the difficult times, health-wise, that I have gone through was just 5 years ago. And no, actually, yeah, starting from 8 years ago, and I just continued until last year. So that's another story. But there are times that I wanted to hide that fact, and I'm so grateful that Jennifer is so vulnerable, and you're sharing all the personal health journey. And I know this is very difficult to share, and it's more power to you when you share, because this is part of our life, and that's what makes you more beautiful. And I do believe there are certain things that we are meant to go through. And that's why I'm so grateful that you're being vulnerable, sharing what you're going through. Uh, so,
Wow. Thank you so much, Kiko. And thank you for sharing, that it hasn't been linear for you. It hasn't been linear for me. And it's an evolution. I believe that it's ongoing. There's no stop. Okay, this is it. Right? Because we evolve, our body's needs change, we age, different things happen. And so we need to be aware of what's working, what's not working. And I'm still healing from things. I'm still trying to heal my thyroid, and some other things. But overall, I feel like I have my life back, and I owe it all to the foods. And now, I really believe that the food choices that we make really influence greatly, although there are other factors, right? Like, exercise and sleep and mood and stress and those kinds of things. It's not just the food, but for me, the food was such a huge part of being able to see right away, oh my gosh, this something is different. What is different? What did I do? I only did this. It's the food. It's the food. Oh my gosh, and to be able to bring the inflammation down, I believe, and allow the body to work on healing instead of battling the inflammation, because then the next problem builds up, builds up, builds up. This way, it says, okay, you're letting me have foods that are not inflammatory. I'm going to be able to now bring down the chronic inflammation and heal. And that's what I want to spread the word of.
That's so beautiful. And what can go wrong with eating some vibrant food that you're presenting just in front of you, right? Green, yellow, red, and it's in purple, and I love your setting. I have been following your YouTube for some time, and I truly love what you're sharing, and you're always in front of this fresh produce, and just like you, raw vegan for me, whole food, plant-based, raw vegan, it's essential. Like this, my life would, I'm a completely different person when I eat differently. And sometime, well, I have been fully raw vegan for the past starting January, mid January. But before that, I was high raw. So sometime I would eat out. So I love that you were bringing your own food to baseball match. Is that? And I do the same, when I have a full day outing, or when I go hiking, or when I was with a client all day long, like yesterday, I was bringing my clients to major part in Kyoto, and I had my, trusting hand wrap by Lisa, and chia berry parfait, which I eat every single day, which is in my Namado book. I have 9 recipe in my book, and those 9 recipes are the popular dish in my cafe in Kyoto. And it feels so good to know what you're eating, and to be able to prepare everything from scratch with this vibrant fruits and vegetable. So yeah, and again, all of what you have gone through, it's a bit difficult to understand, Jennifer being so vibrant and so powerful and so energetic every day. It has gone through so much in your life, right? So you discovered this whole food plant-based SOS free, and you took some nutritional course, right? Could you please share that, why you went to do that?
Oh, so to get my certification?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I wanted to reach out to people, and I wanted to be able to coach people if they wanted one on one coaching. And I felt like, yes, I could coach someone and I could explain to them and share with them and support them. But I felt like I needed to have some kind of accreditation behind it, some kind of classroom setting, understanding of, everything, like including the digestive tract and the enzymes and different parts. Besides just my experience. And so I went ahead, I had an opportunity to take a course, and I did, and I got my certification. And, it doesn't end for me there with learning. I'm still want to continue to take more courses when I can. I'm currently doing one right now on mindfulness. And I just hope to continue to incorporate more and more, not only for myself, really for myself first, because it starts with us. but then to share the knowledge and the experience with others who are willing and wanting to learn more and go down their own path. I think it's really important. And through my course that I took, I learned and I became more aware of listening and not just telling, because I do share, but I want to be a good listener for somebody who's having a hard time and who wants to try something new. Um, and you're a great influence for me. I was looking through the photos and trying to get this ready for us today, and I even said to my husband, a lot of the food is cooked. I'd never really thought about it. And because I've been playing around with more raw, I'm not 100% raw, but it is an interesting journey for me. And so, yeah, I love it. And learning more about what that means and, sharing that. I don't know, I could go on.
I'm just so honored to have you as my new friend, Jennifer. You inspire me every day, and you know, I was you impressed me in so many areas, but I was so impressed that you're a health coach, and everyone, if you're going through something, definitely reach out to Jennifer. She's an amazing health coach. And not only that, she's knowledgeable, she is such a kind soul. And she's always, she's like a sponge. She's got so much knowledge, and she's got her own powerful, powerful health journey that she's gone through, which is always the key to be the excellent health coach. And on top of that, she, just like you said, you're not stopping to learning.
Right.
I was so impressed that you were asking for my advice, and I think that's so powerful for being a coach and being able to being open, being vulnerable, and asking questions. And that's definitely the key of being an outstanding health coach. So definitely reach out to her. She's got a website. She's got everything with Jennifer and Todd. Both of you makes an amazing, powerful couple to enlighten this world.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel the same about you. We all bring in something into this space, and it's a beautiful thing, definitely. And yes, of course, I want to ask you. So I was reaching out to Kiko because I've been having some electrolyte imbalance, and I thought, well, what could I do? What have I tried? What else could happen? Maybe. And so I reached out to her and said, do you have any suggestions? And a lot of them I had already done, and a couple of them I was like, let me check into what that is. Let me try this. And you know what? it's it seems to be correcting itself. So it's always good to bounce information off of people in your community that understand the path that you're going, I believe, no matter if you're brand new to this or you've been doing this for years and years and years. Sometimes we even forget things that we already knew, and it's nice to be able to ask a friend or ask somebody that you value and see. Maybe they'll have a suggestion or a reminder or something new that, oh, I didn't even know this was something to try. So thank you for being a good friend.
Oh, fantastic. That's why I love being in the bundle. So we've connected first with the raw vegan bundle, which ended, and now this is a plant-based bundle. In this plant-based bundle, it's not only raw vegan recipes, but there are cooked plant-based, and also like there's meditation. Lisa has an amazing affirmation meditation, and there's so much information, over 80 plus information books and courses. And I love it because you are instantly becoming part of our community, and you get to choose what resonate. So each one of us has different. We might be looking for some same thing, but we might want to hear from certain people, and you have so many people to reach out to. We are quite open on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, and Jennifer is pretty quick in answering, and I try to answer as soon as possible, and we love connecting. And the reason, I as I mentioned, I have been a high raw vegan diet, and over 20 years I have been struggling on just staying in raw vegan diet, because when I eat out, it gets a little complicated to order raw vegan dishes, especially here in Japan. It's like non-existent. And ever since I this year mid January, it's been so easy because I published my new book, and I got connected to beautiful souls, and we just help each other, to kind of help each other to pull, yeah, come this way, this is good, yeah, this way is good. And bring you up. And that's what Jennifer and Todd did this morning, because I'm very new to this YouTube world, and all the settings is still uncomfortable. But I'm in this beautiful big stable boat of Jennifer and Todd. I said I should be the one to prepare everything, but I said, you know what, okay, let me just be on this beautiful boat. They're just taking me to this beautiful world. So
No,
I'm so grateful, and I wish the same for everyone. To just connect with whoever you feel you're resonated with, and each one of us has our own journey, and it's okay that we are going through some health challenges, or whatever the challenges you're going through, because this is the reason that you're going to find whatever you need to find. And yeah, I cannot say enough to connect with the people you resonate with.
yes, yes, definitely community. And I
Mm.
just want to, say your book is absolutely amazing. It truly is. You put in, I could tell you put in everything from deep, vulnerable places, and just put it on out there. And if you haven't seen Kiko's book, this is a great opportunity to get it. And like you said, there are recipes in there as well, and beautiful pictures, and beautiful story, and real, true
Mm.
life story. And that's something that I really have learned about a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people at some point, they put these books in these bundles, and they're more than just one thing. They're more than just a cookbook, or they're more than just a workout. They share experiences, and like Kiko said, you can, if you resonate with someone, you can certainly connect with them. I do want to also say, if you have bought bundles before in the past, you might be thinking, well, I already bought one, or, and that's true. There are some people in this bundle that have either been in other bundles that have shared similar or some of the same content, but there are a lot of people that haven't been in the bundles that I know. And there are different influencers that come with a different, different set of vegan or other type of lifestyle. And so, if nothing else, you could take the link and click on it and scroll and see who is in this one. And, it's $50, and it's like over $2,700 in value if you bought everything separately. So even if there's one or two or three things, then that's all you decide you want to open up if you buy it. If you bought them separately, the value, you might either be spending the same or more, and then you have all this extra to enjoy as well.
Yeah, definitely. I was quite impressed with this plant-based bundle because I was part of the raw vegan bundle, which I was so impressed. Like, wow, there's so much information and beautiful. I have learned so much from that. And I said, okay, I was invited to be part of this plant-based bundle. And I said, well, I'm already, I have all the information I need from the last bundle. But when I open this plant-based bundle, it's like there's so much more. And you have 1 year to download, and it's yeah, I was definitely more than pleased with the information. And I have not gone through everything, every book available. So I think $50 is really just a giveaway. It's like 99% discount. So yeah, that's an amazing offer, and it's a way to also connect. Being part of the community. Finding who resonate with you, because we are definitely a minority still in this lifestyle. And just like when Jennifer, you mentioned that when you found this, oh, this is it's just the food. Food is it. And it seems something so simple and logical to understand, because we most people do eat 3 times a day, and we feed our body. And sometimes you feel like, oh, it's okay, everyone eats the burger, or I don't know, whatever. I'm not judging whatever you eat, because everyone has their own journey. And I have gone through my own journey of eating whatever out there. I ate everything on this planet, I feel like. And I'm just so grateful that I found this raw vegan lifestyle. And when I discovered it over 20 years ago, I felt I need to share this with whoever needs this information. Because when you are told by doctor, like what Jennifer said, we are devastated, and we feel like we have to just follow what they say.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
so
and another thing is we connect with people from all over the world.
mm,
And you think maybe locally you don't have a lot of support, or maybe you do. There's potlucks in different communities, but a lot of it is people all over the world. Then they, like you're in Kyoto, Japan, and I'm over here in the States in Arizona. We have people in Australia and Canada and Costa Rica. I mean, all over. It's just incredible the connection that we can have. Of course, because of technology too. um, but I did want to say, I love going to farmers markets and being curious and discovering and being excited about being in my kitchen. And I would hope that if you're feeling frustrated about it, or you're not good at cooking, or you haven't experienced it, or whatever it is, maybe the mindset needs to change a little bit and think, okay, I want to make a salad, right? Or I want to make a smoothie. I don't know, I'm not good at it, whatever. Take away that thinking and just play around with it. Well, what if it was okay if I played like a little kid, right? When we were in the sand or the dirt when we were kids, what would happen if the top blows off of the smoothie? Maybe we'll laugh, right? Okay, you have a mess to clean, right? Or what if you get in there? I like to get in there with my hands and play with the cookie dough or whatever it is I'm making. It's fun to connect with the food, to touch the food, to smell the food, to love on the food, and support farmers markets. This is my own personal feelings about it, and I want to show you. I look at this. This is a zucchini I got at the farmers market for $1.
oh my God, so cheap.
I know. Not
What are
at
you gonna do with it?
well, I don't know. I think I'll put some of it in a salad. I could make. I don't know. You have ideas? I could do like
Zoodle.
zoodles.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely zoodles. Okay, did you hear that? You're gonna be a zoodle.
Okay, I will give you my recipe on tomato sauce, the bolognese style. So
Oh, I would love that. Thank you so much. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Okay.
I just
Oh,
served it in my cafe last week, and that was really, really yummy. So yeah,
if
I,
you guys are watching and you live anywhere near or are traveling on vacation and you're going to be anywhere near Kyoto, Japan, gosh, I would say go to the cafe, and I hope to do that one day myself. But
oh, this has been so amazing, Jennifer, and thank you so much for again for sharing your stories with photos that really help me understand better what you have gone through and why you are doing what you're doing, because you're always showing up with so much energy. I love your dancing when you turn on the Vitamix and Todd joining sometimes. And just like you were saying this, maybe we just need to change our perception on, not saying, oh, I don't have time, I'm tired, yeah, you're dragging to the kitchen. Then you just need to, watch Jennifer's the YouTube and, see her dance and prepare beautiful meals and yeah, find your inspiration. And I'm also learning every day, and I like to be a good student, just like Jennifer. So yes, definitely we should do this again because you have so much more to share. But is there anything else that you wanted to share? Your give plants a chance cookbook is beautiful, so professionally done. So there's so much personal touch to it. So definitely, I highly recommend taking a look at her book. Is there anything else you would like to share to the audience?
yeah, thank you so much. Just really appreciate it. And this is my first cookbook, so I of course we tend to be hard on ourselves, but I hope that it's something that is inspiring for others who look into it and try something new. Yeah, the only thing I would say is. You don't have to do this alone, no matter where you are in it, no matter what the reason is. You can find community here. You can find it through the bundle. You can find it locally, but try to find it. And it's fun. It can be fun. I know my husband. He's never really been, big cook. He's never really been big into cooking in the kitchen, and now that he's changed, and eating more foods that I make, I see him tasting stuff and, giving his opinion. And I'm like, wow, you are actually really good at blending flavors.
Oh,
So you might not know that you are really good at something. So just give it a try and give plants a chance and just have have fun, because it doesn't have to be rigid and sterile or angry or whatever. It could just be like you said, on the boat, just having a good time with your green smoothie, right, or your big zucchini.
love it. Again, thank you so much, Jennifer and Todd, again for this platform and sharing your stories. And yes, grab the bundle if you haven't. You would not regret it. You would be thanking us for sure.
Yes, yes. And thank you, everyone that tuned in, for comments and just for being here. And thank you so much, Kiko, for the opportunity for me to share on your channel, and for your grace and your friendship and your inspiration and just your support. You're a wonderful human being, and I am so filled with gratitude and love towards you and our new friendship. And yes, let's do some more of these.
Yes, great. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. It encouraged me and Jennifer for sure that you're, connecting, and see you very soon.
Yes, take care, everyone. Don't forget to eat your greens and
Yeah.
give plants a chance.
Thank